Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional land of the Catawba, the Kiowa, and the Sugaree peoples. My name is Cosette Blackmer, and I will be the worship assistant for Reverend Dr. Amy Rio this morning. We are a flourishing, vibrant, radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all of our visitors and members, we are very glad that you're here, in person or online, and we hope to see you again. Your presence is a gift to us. We have an announcement this Sunday. Our church picnic is this coming Saturday at Frank Liske Park, beginning at 11. Please bring a food to share with a card or a list of ingredients for people who have allergies. The church will provide paper products, ice, and water. Please invite your friends to join us. You are also invited to bring any outdoor games you'd like to play. Now I'd like to introduce Donna Odrowski, and she's going to talk to us about our Shared Plate project this month.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For many of you, I know you probably don't know what PFLAG is, and for some of you who do, I can remind you, we are the nation's largest organization dedicated to supporting education and advocating for LGBTQ plus people and their family and friends. PFLAG was started back in '73 by a parent who, as she says, I wasn't going to let anybody walk all over my Morty. And it's pretty much what we've done since then as parents and friends of LGBTQ persons. We like to create a caring and just and affirming world for those people and those who love them. We connect LGBTQ plus persons with community, parents with resources, and we give allies tools to help bolster the LGBTQ plus community with strength, power, and love. Our chapter in Salisbury was started in 2006 by a man named Mike Clausen. He held support group meetings in his church basement with family and friends who wanted to love and support their family and friends. And in 2008, he helped start our scholarship program for Rowan County seniors, local high schools, homeschools, private schools. We don't mind, just any of them. We have an application they fill out, and today, after 15 years, we have given over $100,000 in $1,000 increments. Yeah. And so when we think about over 100 kids, that's a lot. And out of those kids, sometimes we'll do 7 or 8 scholarships, and a lot of times between the time we do the interviews for the scholarships and Pride, which is usually a couple months, either we'll get a phone call from a parent or the child wanting us to talk to a parent, or they'll come up to us at Pride and say, guess what? I told them, And it's nice to see that they felt comfortable enough to do that to their loved ones. We also award teachers, school faculty members, with a advocacy award. We named it after Bob Johnson, who is a teacher who helped start 2 GSAs, one at North Rowan and one at Carson. And he is just a very supportive, good guy all around. It's our way to say thank you for helping us and showing kids that they matter, because sometimes they don't get that at home. And so as young adults, we like for them to come back to us and say, hey, this person made a difference in my life, and we try to reward them for that. We also have done a large number of local and area community events. Usually a few parents and friends will ask, how can I best support my friend or my child? And we give them information like these. We have a number of books that just basically answer questions that they may have. We have one on faith. We have one on our children. We have one on be yourself, and that's for the LGBTQ person who doesn't know what's going on and maybe needs a few answers of their own. So that's what our fundraising does, besides our scholarships, is give people information at these events. Our group is full of parents. We have a few LGBTQ persons that can come and speak to each person that may need to hear from them. And sometimes just a free mom hug will do. So we thank you, and thank you for all of your support over the years. I know y'all have shared a lot with us, and it's helped us to do this work that we feel is important. In closing, I'd like to share PFLAG's vision, and it is, PFLAG envisions a world where diversity is celebrated, all people are respected, valued, and affirmed, inclusive of their sexual orientation, their gender identity, and their gender expression. And I myself am a parent of a transgender child and have adopted a few more. I was not able to have but one biologically, but I've kind of been there for quite a few, and it's been the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. So thank you so much, and if you have any questions afterwards, please feel free to come to me, and I'll be glad to point you in the correct way.
Thank you, Donna, for sharing that important information. For other important information about our vibrant community, please see your order of service, or if you receive our email list, please check your monthly newsletter, or if you want, and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
Well, good morning. It's wonderful to be back with you after having been gone the past couple of weeks, and so I'm just so happy to see your faces and to be here in your presence. So as we prepare to light our chalice, each day is a new journey as our feet step one in front of the other, and the divine light within each one of us guides our steps. And even when our steps falter, we know the light within us never wavers. Our journey always rings true. The light of our chalice is a visible reminder of the inner light and the assurance it provides for our travels. Please join me now in singing the words to lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. invite you now to please rise and body your spirit for our call to worship. From the busyness of every day, we gather once a week to remember who we are, to dream of who we might become. As companions on this journey, we share the milestones we meet along the way. Individual moments of joy and sorrow become shared moments of comfort and celebration. We travel this road together. We share this journey across differences of belief and opinion because we value diversity and because we care for one another. We travel this road together. Today, as we take the next steps, let us notice our fellow travelers, the burdens they carry, the songs that inspire their hearts.
We travel this road together.
As we gather in beloved community, let us open the holy havens of our hearts. Let us share the sacred places of our souls, for we are pilgrims who share a common path. We travel this road together. Our first hymn is found in our great hymnal, number 128, For All That Is Our Life. Please be seated, and I'd like to invite any young ones who'd like to join me up front. Please do so. Good morning. How are all of you doing today? Good. Everyone doing well? Okay. So, I have a question for you. Have any of you ever taken a trip?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where have you taken a trip to?
Petting zoo on a mountain.
To a petting zoo on a mountain. Oh, that sounds like fun. So, anyone else taking a trip that you think about? It could be a short trip, doesn't have to be a long one. Me. Where have you taken your trip?
I like to go camping, eating marshmallows to go camping.
Camping, yes. That's a great trip. And marshmallows, yes. Anytime you go camping, it's good to have some marshmallows and chocolate and graham crackers, yes. Anyone else taking a trip, short or long? Or?
I did.
You didn't? That's all right. I'm sure you're going to take one sometime. So we've already talked, my next question, y'all have already started to answer that. What are things we need when we go on a trip? So if we go camping, we need, obviously, marshmallows and chocolate and graham crackers. What are some other things we need if we go camping?
No, we don't. We
Okay, no chocolate but hot dogs. Okay, so, yes. Thank you. I appreciate that correction there. So what are some other things that are helpful when we go camping?
A tent.
A tent. Yeah. Do you have something you sleep in or on when you go camping? Olaf. Okay, Olaf. Yes, a little, stuffed friend is always helpful to have too. Yes.
Toothbrush.
A toothbrush. Do you think that might be helpful? Yes.
Sleeping bag.
Sleeping bags. Yes. Air mattress. I'm with you on that one there. Yes. I've reached that age. So what about other trips? Like if we're going to get in the car and go to the petting zoo, what kind of things do we need for that? A snack, absolutely. We need to have some food to eat. Snacks, very good.
Daddy, no, Joffrey.
Goldfish, that's a very good snack to have.
Baby blue bag.
Guides for the zoo or things like that? Oh, okay.
Whales.
Baby whales. Okay, I think there's different kinds of snacks here. I think it's also good maybe to have a way to get there, like a car, and to have gas in the car if we have a car that uses gas. If we're going to stay overnight, we might want to pack some clothes. That is wonderful, Dottie. Yeah, so all that to say, anytime we're going to go somewhere, we need to make a plan and to have some things that are going to help the trip go more smoothly, right? So help prepare us for that. That's also true while we come here at church on Sundays. It's a fun place to be, but we learn things that help prepare us for how we can live the rest of our life, right? There's things we learn about loving other people and being in community with other people, and that helps prepare us for the rest of our days. So, okay. I want to ask y'all to do one thing before we head out. If you can think of one place you want to go, it can be someplace close or far. What kind of, can you think of that place? You want to share that with us?
The ice cream store.
Oh, the ice cream store. Can I go with you to the ice cream store? I'd like that too. Yeah.
Gone to Germany to see my cousins.
Oh, Germany to see cousins.
And I have cousins too.
You have cousins too.
In Utah.
In Utah, it's another big trip. Yeah.
I go animals to see donkeys.
And yeah, go to the zoo. So I think it's wonderful to have dreams and hopes about where we want to go someday and places, people we want to see and spend time with, people we love. And so I hope that every day, one thing we want you to know here at the church is it's really great to have dreams and hopes and to keep reaching out to people we love and keep exploring new things and new ideas. So thank y'all so much for being talkative today. I always enjoy talking with you, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day. We are now entering our time for ritual and sacred sharing, a time where we share joys and sorrows, and also concerns and milestones. We light candles at this time to remember these joys and concerns. We first light a candle for Orland. Some of you might recall that his great-nephew Samuel was missing. Samuel, his body was found, so it's been a very tragic time for Orland's family, who are from up north. The service will be held towards the end of the month back home in Pennsylvania, but we light a candle for all of Samuel's many loved ones who are missing him and grieving during this tragic loss. We light a candle for Eileen from our Salisbury gathering. Her husband Ed was in the hospital for testing for a few days last week, and they're still waiting some results for that. For healing for Alana Nicole, who is dealing with some health issues. For the ongoing struggle for civil rights in Iran. For all the many who are suffering so greatly in Gaza, and that conditions will be made immediately for necessary aid to be made available to all of the people in that area. For all areas of violence around the world, especially Haiti, the Sudan, the Middle East, and the war in Ukraine. Now, at this time, you are invited to come forward as you would like to do so. I invite you to go along the aisle by our far wall, and you may fill out a prayer card to place on the prayer wall. You may light your own candle of joy or concern, or you may simply place a stone in our shared water. We now light a few more candles for the things we hold in our hearts which remain unspoken, and also for those who are joining us in spirit or joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. At this time, we will enter into a period of quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. I will sound the singing bowl, and then we will have this period of silence. And I invite you to simply just deepen your breath, become more connected with your center, with the light within you. And as you slow your breath, to invite in what it is that you need this morning.
Our wisdom reading this morning is titled, "For Those Who Have Far to Travel" by Jan Richardson. If you could see the journey as a whole, you might never undertake it. Might never dare the first step that propels you from the place you have known towards the place you know not. Call it one of the mercies of the road that we see only by stages as it opens up before us, as it comes into our keeping step by single step. There is nothing for it but to go, and by our going take the vows the pilgrim takes. To be faithful to the next step. To rely on more than the map. To heed the signposts of intuition and dream. to follow the star that only you will recognize, to keep an open eye for the wonders that attend the path, to press on beyond distractions, beyond fatigue, beyond what would tempt you from the way. There are vows that only you will know, the secret promises for your particular path, and the new ones you will need to make when the road is revealed by turns you could not foreseen. Keep them, break them, make them again. Each promise becomes part of the path. Each choice creates the road that will take you to the place where at last you will kneel to offer the gift most needed, the gift only you can give, before turning to go home by another way.
Perhaps the best-known book by writer Annie Lamott is her spiritual memoir entitled Traveling Mercies. Lamott recounts her story, the story of a young woman who struggled greatly in her life from various addictions and dysfunctional family and numerous challenges. Now, her family of origin did not participate in any faith community, yet Lamott always felt drawn to belief and ritual. Now, as a troubled adult, she almost accidentally one Sunday morning, found herself hanging out just inside the door of a small black church near her home during one of the lowest points of her life. And you can visualize her standing there just as the opening of the door, not quite outside, but not wanting to really step in. A lone white female, overwhelmed with addiction, unable to gain control of her life. Now, gradually over time, she would take one further little baby step in, until she finally traveled fully into the church to sit in the back row. And this took weeks and months for her to make this step. And the church patiently waited until she was ready to come fully in, and very patiently welcomed her, not overwhelming her, but letting her know that she was loved. She accepted their love, and they became like family to her. And then a few months after that, she found herself pregnant, a single woman, and they lavished her with even more love, and especially for her son, Sam, when he arrived. Now, the title of Lamott's memoir comes from a saying that the older women of the church would offer anytime someone was getting ready to take a journey. They would always say, traveling mercies, traveling mercies. In essence, grace be with you on your journey. Now, Lamott chose this blessing as the title for her spiritual memoir, Grace and Blessings for the Journey of Life, no matter the challenges and unexpected detours. The thing is, most of you are probably aware, I returned last week from a couple weeks for study leave and a couple days vacation thrown in, and I spent most of my time in Cornwall, the very southwestern part of England, for a writing retreat. And as I was preparing for this journey, and especially the very long time it took to get all the way down to Penzance, I thought about something that my granny said a few times in her latter years. Now, my granny, she was the one who was married to a Methodist minister. She was someone who wasn't able to travel much in her life. Now, as Granny got older, she was able to take a couple more extensive journeys beyond just a few hours. Now, recall that when Granny was in her 80s, she had always longed to go to Boston and see the old North Church. Now, her physical abilities were much more limited at that point, but my mom, her daughter, planned the trip and took her. It was Granny's last big trip. And Granny said, she said this several times, and it really struck me. There's something about travel. You just learn a lot about things and about yourself. You see things in a different way. Now, we all hope for traveling mercies, for things we can learn about the world and about ourselves along the journey of our lives. Now, our journeys, they may not be physical, or they might be physical, but they might be short ones, they might be much longer ones. The spiritual journey also offers an infinite number of blessings for us as well. So what can we learn along our journeys if we invite traveling mercies as our companion? First, it's always a good idea to prepare for a journey. To prepare for a journey. It's helpful to talk with people who've been where we want to go. It's good to read things, explore things to get insights about what this journey might be. It's helpful to make a list or have an idea of what we need to take with us. Now, for my recent trip, I certainly talked to a lot of people who had been to the area I was planning to go. I read all sorts of things about how to get from London to Penzance and everything that was in Cornwall. And I was especially proud of myself that I used everything I packed in my suitcase. And I had everything I needed. I get a little adrenaline rush when I don't pack unnecessary things. So. Now, preparation also holds true for the spiritual journey. It's so helpful to speak and spend time with people who are on the journey themselves, mentors and soul friends, siblings in faith who value the spiritual path. Learning whatever we can about the spiritual journey enhances our own path so much. It might be through reading or singing, attending worship, as we're doing right now, or other church events. We can invite traveling mercies by being intentional about our spiritual journey as we prepare each day. It might be taking notes or journaling, creating, all the different ways that we can be intentional about this journey that we seek to undertake, the journey of our spirits. So first, traveling mercies abide with us when we prepare for the journey. And second, when we are flexible. When we are flexible. The unexpected always happens. Flexibility is key. Now, with a physical journey, we might encounter bad weather or road closings, or how Heathrow Airport loves to change the gate for your flight multiple times. So, we can often discover that no matter our preparation, things are just not what we expected. That's so true for life, isn't it? We can prepare every day for our spiritual journey, but the unexpected always happens. And the unexpected is often where we find the greatest gifts. Robert Burns wrote, "The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry." Now, if we are flexible, we can see the grace and gifts of the universe offered in the unexpected. I vividly recall one almost throwaway comment in a New Testament class in seminary. The professor stated that most of the best-known stories of Jesus and some of his greatest healing events actually occurred when he was on his way from one place to the next. He was on a journey, traveling through, and unexpectedly was stopped. Now, if you read any of these stories of Jesus, you know he was always flexible with his plan. When people unexpectedly stopped him, he always stopped and gave them his full attention. And it was the unexpected interruptions along his journey which were some of the most important events of his ministry. So we discover traveling mercies, first when we plan, second when we are flexible, and thirdly, when we look for adventure. Amen. Amen. Thank you. The best trips are the ones that have an element of adventure. Now, the adventure might just be getting along with people we don't usually spend so much time with, especially if we take some big family trips, right? So it might just be trying some new foods or some foods that we're not exactly certain what they are. Or it might be just learning patience with a location, a situation that is not our home. Now, adventure might also be something much more exciting and physically challenging. I know some people have given birth to them or legally adopted them who don't think it's a fun trip unless some extreme sport is involved. So then the adventure might be seeing what happens at the urgent care afterwards. But adventure might just be exploring something off the beaten path that other people have not really paid much attention to. Now, adventure is part of the spiritual journey as well. Staying in our comfort zone, what is easy for us, that prevents us from following a fully expansive spiritual path. Staying in our comfort zone prevents us from following a fully expansive spiritual path. If we are not expanding, we are contracting. If we are not expanding, we are contracting. And spiritual stagnation means contraction. So traveling mercies comes along when we first prepare, when we are flexible, when we are ready for adventure, and lastly, when we talk to strangers. Now, anytime I have physically traveled on a journey, I've had to talk to strangers. This is especially true in Heathrow Airport, which is definitely one of the most challenging airports I've been in. When we're trying to figure out perhaps how to get the correct train to get to the correct station so I can get on my way to Cornwall. It's not intuitive, right? Now, we teach our children not to talk to strangers for safety reasons. Absolutely. But as adults, when we are on a journey, we so often have to rely on the wisdom and assistance of people we do not know, people who are strangers to us. Now, it might be a nice young man at the airport, or someone who provides directions in an unknown town, or someone in a grocery store who explains an unfamiliar item or where to locate something that we need. We need strangers to help us on our journey. Now, this very much holds true for the spiritual journey. Part of my dissertation focused on the concept of hospitality in the biblical narrative. That is one of the major themes in the biblical narrative. Hospitality, welcoming the stranger, the immigrant, the widowed, the orphan. That was a common theme. Strangers in a strange land might be angels unaware. So this major theme of hospitality is about how we welcome and support strangers, unknown people who need assistance. Now, this is a foundation for a spirit-filled life, welcoming the stranger. And one of the reasons, it's not just us, out of the graciousness of our hearts trying to do something for someone else. It's a reciprocal relationship, right? We're all in the boat together. All of us have been strangers at some point. And all of us have experienced welcome at some point. Now, a critical aspect of our covenant as a UU church is to welcome strangers, those who are looking for a place of inclusion, a support, of community, and love. It's a foundational reason for why we are here and who we are. Now, I invite us to go forth today with the blessing of traveling mercies. Let us continue to prepare for our spiritual journey. Let us be flexible. Let's seek out adventure, whatever that might be. And let us welcome the stranger as we ourselves as strangers have been welcomed. Now, as we go forth today and each day, I offer each one of you traveling mercies along the spiritual path. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Thank you, Ann. Now let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us. A community of memory and of hope, for now we are the keepers of the dream. This month we are sharing our offering plate with PFLAG Salisbury-Rowan. PFLAG's mission is to build on a foundation of loving families united with LGBTQ people and allies who support one another, and to educate ourselves and our communities to speak up as advocates until all hearts and minds respect, value, and affirm LGBTQ people. PFLAG envisions a world where diversity is celebrated and all people are respected, valued, and affirmed, inclusive of their sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. We ask that you place your gifts in the baskets as they make their way around the room, and as always, you are welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. This morning's offering will now gratefully be received.
We give thanks for your generous spirits and your generous hearts, which help us as we go along this journey of sharing love and welcome in this world. I now invite you to please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn, number 15 in your gray hymnal. Before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many people, all the many volunteers every Sunday morning who help make our service possible. I also ask if you can please leave the hymnals on the cart near the piano. That will be a big help too. And as we do each Sunday, let us take a moment to give thanks, either in our hearts or with words, for the things for which you are grateful today.
Friends and family and community,
friends and family and community.
I'm grateful for the ability to have new dreams.
The ability to have new dreams. Yes.
Grateful for the journey.
Grateful for the journey.
I'm grateful for PFLAG. I'm very familiar with their work, and they have been so important over the years, providing support for people when support just wasn't there.
Yes, very grateful for PFLAG and all the support they've offered.
Kids' haircuts.
Kids' haircuts. Yes. Good thing. We are grateful for all these things and also the other things we hold in our hearts this morning. And receive now this blessing from Eric Williams. Blessed is the path on which you travel. Blessed is the body that carries you upon it. Blessed is your heart that has heard the call. Blessed is your mind that discerns the way. Blessed is the gift that you will receive by going. Truly blessed is the gift that you will become on the journey. May you go forth in peace. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we may wander. May it be so. Now for our closing song, we stand in a circle, and you are welcome to hold hands if you would like, or you may simply place your hands on your heart.